If you like this video, click like. If you want to continue to follow our adventure, hit subscribe. Your support would be greatly appreciated.
Hello, Thousand Road subscribers and followers. I was asked a question by several of my subscribers that comment a lot, and I appreciate both of them very much. These two, they're always so encouraging and supportive. One of them is a Patreon, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate both of them. They're just very helpful, very friendly, very supportive folks. And both of them asked me why we chose, man, I'm telling you, the mosquitoes are about to kill me. But both of them asked, why do we stay in our truck, sleep in our truck, on the days that we decide to travel more than 300 miles to get to our next location. And so usually what we try to do is we try to stay within a 300-mile area to get to our next location. And when they asked, I mean, our original plan was to go to Mississippi. And so when they asked, I replied that, you know, we were hoping to meet up with somebody. That didn't work out because of the hurricanes. And so anyway, our plans changed and we came to South Carolina. And we still slept in the truck, which they didn't ask about that because they didn't know until just now. But we slept in the truck, and it got to, you know, and I wanted to answer that question because these guys are, both of these folks are very loyal. I wanted to make sure that I thoroughly answered the question for them. Okay. My dad, one time took us to, my ex-wife and me and my daughter, to South Dakota in his travel trailer. And he did. He would stop at a rest area. He'd slide the slide out, and he'd get in, and we'd sleep the night, and then the next morning slide the slide out in, and on we go. And I can understand that if you're in a van or a travel trailer, but here we are in a pop-up. And I think that really this might be the one disadvantage with the pop-up is the amount of work and effort it takes to set it up. And we feel more comfortable just getting to location so we can get back to being in our home versus, you know, setting it up real quick, breaking it down. Okay, so let me describe what it takes to actually break down the camper and set it up. You know, you pull into a spot. First thing you got to do is you got to level it, which, you know, is not an easy task. You got, and then you got to raise the pop-up. You got to slide the slides out. And here's the big problem. Right here is all the stuff that was on your storage areas all had to be dropped down to the floor. So before you can even walk into the camper, you got to start getting all that stuff moved around and put back. And then when you're ready to break it down, it's all got to come back down to the floor. This is where living in a camp pop-up becomes an inconvenience, because the more you move around, the more that stuff's moving. And every time you move something, something gets lost. And you're looking for it and looking for it when you actually get to your location. Look, I understand in a travel trailer, the only thing you may move on your overnight stay is a coffee cup or a plate. But everything gets moved in a pop-up. Everything. Just setting up the shower tent is a 20-30 minute process. So if I need to use the bathroom, I got to set up the shower tent, go to the bathroom, and then bring it back down. Everything in a pop-up just takes more time. And in my opinion, that is one of the biggest disadvantages about being in a pop-up. Not that I'm complaining about it, I'm just answering the question. So, it does cause quite a bit of, I'm not even sure stress is the right word, but there's just a lot of effort to make all that happen. And so, in my mind, in Carolyn's mind, and we both agree to this 100%, because we've tried it. We've tried doing this overnight thing. Staying in a rest area or parking lot in the truck is just easier. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, wow, that's just uncomfortable. Look, I'd rather have that one night of uncomfort so I don't have to have that worry about getting it set up and broke down. And the thing is, okay, so let's take this scenario. You get up in the morning, you break down the camper. Okay, so let's say we get up at 7 o'clock, we have a cup of coffee, we break down the camper. By the time we're actually out of the campsite, it's 10 o'clock. So we leave the campsite and we drive to 4. So there's 6 hours that we got to drive. 6, that's all we got to drive. Because you got to be there by 4 so you can set up so it's not too late and you're bothering everybody else. So you get there at 4 and you eat and all that kind of stuff. So you get there, it's another 2 hours to get it all set up, everything kind of rearranged. So out of this day where you could have been driving, you've only driven 6 hours, but then you had another 4 hours to set up and breakdown time. So there's 10 hours. And to us, it just made more sense to drive the 10 hours total. Sleep in the truck, get up the next morning. Here's what was really nice about this. We got up the next morning, and I loved this. I got up at 6:30, started driving, got to the campsite at 9 o'clock in the morning. Ah, that was awesome. Because we had all day to set up, plenty of time. Lunch rolled around. We had lunch because most of everything was kind of put away. We had lunch, and it was just a relaxing day. I mean, completely relaxing. And since my life is about trying to de-stress, I'd rather take that one night in the truck of being uncomfortable a little bit, which it's not all that uncomfortable. I mean, I actually slept pretty well. I'd rather have that than the stress of setting it up, breaking it down, setting it up, breaking it down. The wear and tear on the camper. Every time I raise it and lower it, there's a risk that something's going to break. So that's why I think we decided to go ahead and sleep in the truck in a rest stop versus finding another campsite, which could be 20 miles off your route or 30 miles off your route trying to find that campsite. So anyway, that's our explanation. It's not an excuse. It's just what we are comfortable with. So hope that answers the question. Thanks to both of you very much. And thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video. And happy travels.